हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम साइंटिस्ट के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। आपके एनसीईआरटी में ये साइंटिस्ट दिए हुए हैं जस्ट बिफोर स्टार्टिंग ऑफ ईच यूनिट्स। नीट में हर साल इन साइंटिस्ट पे एक क्वेश्चन आता है। सो दिस लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द साइंटिस्ट। आप देखो, एम.एस. स्वामीनाथन है, हर्बर्ट बोयर हैं, रामदेव मिश्रा, जेम्स वॉट्स, फ्रांसिस क्रिक, पंचानन महेश्वरी, जी.एन. रामचंद्रन, एल्फोंसो कार्टीन, एरन नास्टमेयर, and then Catherine Saab and Melvin Calvin. So let's see the first scientist. This is about Panchanand Maheshwari, born in November in 1904 in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Panchanand Maheshwari uh, role to become one of the most distinguished botanists, not only of India, but of the entire world. He moved to Allahabad for higher education, where he obtained his BSc during his college days. He was inspired by Dr. W. Dugan, an American missionary teacher, to develop interest in botany and especially morphology. His teacher once expressed that if his student progress ahead of him, it will give him a great satisfaction. These words encourage him to inquire what he could do for his teacher in return. He worked on embryological aspects and popularized the use of embryological characters in taxonomy. He established the Department of Botany, University of Delhi, as an important center of research in embryology and tissue culture. He also emphasized the need for initiation of work on artificial culture of immature embryos. These days, tissue culture has become a landmark in science. His work on test tube culture has become a landmark that in science. His work on test tube fertilization and intra-ovarian pollination won worldwide acclaim. He was honored with fellowship of Royal Society of London, FRS, Indian National Science Academy, and several other institutions of excellence. He encouraged general education and made a significant contribution to school education by his leadership in bringing out of very first test books of biology for higher secondary school published by NCERT in 1964. Then the next is James Watts, and that is, you see, Crick, Francis Crick, was born in Chicago on 6th April, and they received a BSc degree in zoology. During these years, this is about the James Davy Watson. During these years, his interest in bird watching had matured into a serious desire to learn genetics. This became possible when he received a fellowship for graduate study in zoology at Indiana University, Bloomington, where he received his PhD degree in 1950 on a study of the effect of a hard X-ray on bacteriophage multiplication. He met Crick and discovered their common interest in solving the DNA structure. Their first serious effort was unsatisfactory. Their second effort became upon more experimental evidence and better appreciation of the nucleic acid literature. Resulted early in March 1953 in the proposal of the complementary double helical configuration. Francis Harry Compton Crick was born on 8th June 1916 at Northampton, England. He studied physics at University College, London, and obtained a BSc in 1937. He completed PhD in 1954 and a thesis entitled X-rays, Diffraction, Polypeptides and Proteins. A critical influence in Crick's career was his friendship with G.D. Watson, then a young man of 23, leading in 1953 to the proposal of the double helical structure for DNA and the replication scheme Crick was made on FRS in 1959. The Honors to Watson and Crick include the John Collingsworth Prize of the Muscat's General Hospital. In 1959, the Lasker Award. In 1960, the Research Cooperation Prize. In 1962, and above all, the Nobel Prize in 1962. The next we have is M.S. Swaminathan, born in August 1925 in Kumbhakonam in Tamil Nadu. And he did his graduation and post graduation in botany from Madras University. He worked in different capacities in large number of institutions in India and abroad, and developed his expertise in genetics and plant breeding. The School of Cytogenetics and Radiation Research, established at the Indian Agriculture Research Institute IARI, enabled Swaminathan and his learn to develop short duration, high yielding varieties of rice, including, sensed basmati. He is also known for the development of concept of crop cafeteria, crop scheduling, and genetically improving the yield and quality. He initiated collaboration with Norman and Borlaug, which culminated in the Green Revolution through introduction of Mexican varieties of wheat in India. This was highly recognized and appreciated. He is also the initiator of Lab to Land, food security, and several other environmental programs. He has been honored with Padma Bhushan and several other prestigious awards, medal, and fellowship by Institution of Excellence. Then the next is Hobart Boyer was born in 1936 and brought up in a corner of Pennsylvania where railroads and mines were, the destiny of most of the men. He completed graduate work at the University of Pittsburgh in 1963, followed by 3 years of postgraduate studies at Yale. In 1966, Boyer took over assistant professorship at the University of California at San Francisco. By 1969, he performed studies on a couple of restriction enzymes of the E. coli bacterium with especially useful properties. Boyer observed that these enzymes have the capability of cutting DNA strands in a particular fashion, which left what has become known as sticky ends on the strands. These clipped ends made pasting together pieces of DNA a precise exercise. This discovery in turn led to a rich and rewarding conversation in Hawaii with a Stanford scientist named Stanley Cohen. Cohen had been studying small ringlets of DNA called plasmids, and which floats about freely in the cytoplasm of certain bacterial cells and replicate independently from the coding strand of DNA. Cohen had developed a method of removing these plasmids from the cell and then reinserting them in other cell. Combining this process with that of DNA splicing enabled Boyer and Cohen to recombine segments of DNA in desired configuration and insert the DNA in bacterial cell, which could then act as a manufacturing plants for specific proteins. This breakthrough was the basis upon which the discipline of biotechnology was founded. Coming to Ramdev Mishra is known as father of ecology in India, born in 1908, obtained his PhD in ecology in 1937 under Professor W.H. Pearsall from Leeds University in UK. He established teaching and research in ecology at the Department of Botany of the Banaras Hindu University. His research laid the foundations for understanding of tropical communities and their successions, environmental responses of plant populations and productivity, and nutrient cycling in tropical forest and grassland ecosystem. Mishra formulated the first postgraduate course in ecology in India. Over 50 scholars obtained PhD degree under his supervision and moved on to other universities and research institutes to initiate ecology, leading and research across the country. He was honored with the fellowship of the Indian National Science Academy and World Academy of Arts and Science, and the prestigious Sanjay Gandhi Award in Environment and Ecology. Due to his efforts, the Government of India established the National Committee for Environmental Planning and Coordination in 1972, which in later years paved the way for the establishment of the Ministry of Environment and Forest in 1984. Coming to Ernest Mayr, born on 5th July 1904 in Kempten, Germany, Harvard University evolutionary biologist who has been called the Darwin of the 20th century. This is very important for me, was one of the 100 greatest scientists of all time. Mayr joined Harvard's Faculty of Arts and Sciences in 1953 and retired in 1975, assuming the title Alexander Agassiz Professor of Zoology Emeritus. Throughout his nearly 80-year career, his research spanned ornithology, taxonomy, zoogeography, evolution, systematics, and the history and philosophy of biology. He most single-handedly made the origin of species diversity the central question of evolutionary biology that it is today. He also pioneered the currently accepted definition of a biological species. Mayr was awarded the three prizes widely regarded as the Triple Crown of Biology: the Belgian Prize in 1983, the International Prize for Biology in 1994, and the Crafoord Prize in 1999. Mayr died at the age of 100 in the year 2004. Catherine was born in Ukraine in 1898, and she has interest in agriculture. So she preceded agriculture in Russia and Germany and received a title in 1931 in United States. She reported in her early publications that the curly top virus spreads through a plant via the food-conducting or phloem tissues. Plant Anatomy, published in 1954, took a dynamic development approach designed to enhance one's understanding of plant structure and an enormous impact worldwide, literally bringing about a revival of the discipline. The Anatomy of Seed Plants by Catherine was published in 1960. It was referred to as Webster's of Plant Biology. It is encyclopedia. In 1957, she was elected to the National Academy of Sciences, becoming the sixth woman to receive that honor. In addition to this prestigious award, she received the National Medal of Science from President George Bush in 1989. When Catherine died in year 1997, Peter Evan, director of anatomy and morphology, Missouri Botanical Garden, remembered that she absolutely dominated the field of plant biology even at the age of 99. G.N. Ramachandran was outstanding figure in the field of protein structure, was the founder of the Madras School of Conformational Analysis of Biopolymers. His discovery of the triple helical structure of collagen, published in Nature in 1954, and his analysis of the allowed conformation of proteins through the use of Ramachandran plot rank among the most outstanding contributions in structural biology. He was born on October 8, 1922, in a small town not far from Cochin on the southwestern coast of India. His father was a professor of mathematics at a local college and thus had considerable influence in shaping Ramachandran's interest in mathematics. After completing his school years, he graduated in 1942 as the top-ranking student in the BSc Honours Physics course of the University of Madras. He received a PhD from Cambridge University in 1949. While at Cambridge, Ramachandran met Linnaeus Pauling, and was deeply influenced by his publication on model of the alpha helix and beta sheet structures that directed his attention to solving the structure of collagen. He passed away at the age of 78 on April 7, 2001. Alfonso Corti, Italian anatomist, was born in 1822, began his scientific career studying the cardiovascular system of reptiles. Later, he turned his attention to the mammalian auditory system. Later, he turned his attention to the mammalian auditory system. In 1851, he published a paper describing a structure located on the basilar membrane of the cochlea, containing hair cells that convert sound vibrations into nerve impulses, the organ of Corti. He died in the year 1888. So these are the scientists, and you are going to get question from these scientists. So go through ahead. It's very important.